Some people tell me that that there's something they feel gets lost in the English. I personally don't necessarily agree with that. English has other strengths. It's different. I believe that a poem has to be recreated in the new language so that a similar product, but not the same product, comes into being. Now, English itself is a Creole language in many ways, very much in the same way that Afrikaans is a Creole language. The beginnings are, it's got Creole characteristics, but it's not entirely Creole. That's the way it is with Afrikaans as well. The Creole part of Afrikaans is very structural, and with English it's maybe a bit different, but English itself is also a rich language, but in a different way. And I do not believe actually that English is the best language to write poetry in. That is one reason why I love to stick to Afrikaans. But it has its strengths, and when I have put a poem of mine into English, I do reach a stage of being satisfied with what I've done, and then I would think, well, given everything, given what English is, given what Afrikaans is, it cannot be better than this for now. And you have to make do. Yeah. I would have. I enjoy that process, and it is very much an honest process for where I am as a South African, doing that, playing that little dance. The way in which a writer must survive as a writer today in South Africa, it was completely unpredictable. I wouldn't have predicted this kind of situation for myself. And I'm almost sure I cannot predict the situation as a writer I'm going to be in 10 years as a South African writer. But I will rise to the occasion. I will do what has to be done. That's what writers do, They ford the stream because you have to. First of all, to me, Africa is this chaos of possibilities, this chaos of unrealized alternatives, almost on a DNA level, on a cultural DNA level. There are these other alternatives that could have and maybe still can create another kind of world than the one we have, than the one that is dominant in the world. So to me, that hope, that DNA cultural hope that I do see in Africanness, to me that is very important, and I invest a kind of hope in it. Africa never had a modernity of its own, so none of these potentialities could ever have, in Africa, ever really reached the stage of a true modernity as it happened in Europe. And it could have looked radically different than what, it could have been a modernity which is radically different and unimaginably different than the one that became the dominant, that became the dominant modernity.